Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. I have a big question for you. Have you ever started a task, maybe a mindless, stalling kind of task, perhaps like organizing your planner stickers, and then find that you can't stop and that you're burning hours of daylight and you can't stop? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. So I thought that I should show you sort of a follow-up. And it's a bit, I understand it's a bit ridiculous. Such a simple thing hardly deserves two parts. But look, I found my masterboard book. So that's a bonus too. Okay, so I found my book. Oh, after the video ended, what I ended up doing, because that wasn't time consuming and laborious enough, I cut the stickers, I separated the stickers into colorways, and that instantly made me feel better and made them more useful. I've got glue all over my hands. Okay, we've all seen these sorts of photo albums. This is rather a nice one, but we know they're not very strong. So what I started after I made my piles, oh, that's something else, I divided them into colorways, and I'll show you why I have these left. Now, we know that these pockets are not the strongest things in the world, so that's why I kind of split them up. I had a sort of a blue-green pile, ended up using 4 pages for that. Try not to let them bunch up too much. This is what's left my purple, and that's where we stand. So let me show you what I've done. And I have to, because I'm going to actually be doing some work here. Sorry, I just want to make sure that I'm largely in screen. Okay, so the next thing I was going to tackle were the sort of the black and white ones. And you can see I haven't pre-sorted them, but I'm down to itty bitty little things like this. Because if you watched yesterday's video, you know that some of them were very, had many, I better not let those stickers fall into pages of the book, had very many colors. And the ones that didn't kind of have a predominant, I should take these two on, a predominant color, I basically, let's call this my rainbow section. And there aren't very many of those. Anyway, let me show you what I've done. Because, of course, I was doing this all by myself as I was watching Netflix. I'm going to move these pinky blushy ones out of here. Because, as you may know, I'm working on a journal like that, and I haven't used those yet. I want to keep them together. Okay. Now, if you haven't seen previous videos or heard me talk about this, this was an idea that I first saw Gail Augustinelli do, well, a few years ago. I think she was using an oversized kids book. And this one is, is Creative Watercolor Techniques Sable. Anyway, so when I feel like, the world would be right if I just did some collaging, I work in this book. And the beauty of this is that they're all together. You don't misplace them. As well as it's kind of a manageable size. It's pretty close to, let me just tell you. Well, pretty 11. Yeah, 8 by 11 or so. And they can stay here until you're ready to back them. And then, of course, remove it from the book and cut it into whatever you want to cut it up to be. So I've got that, and it's just sitting there waiting for the right day, the right project. I love, love, love this one. and seem to be hoarding it. These are schematic drawings of buildings and windows and doors and fire escapes and a few little people. Anyway, this came out of, I don't even remember where, but I loved it and I did it and it's waiting for me. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. This, I obviously used some green stickers. And the reason I chose green is because of the ledger page. So there was green on the page already, along with whites, embossed whites, and old newspaper ads or magazine ads. I see that some of the paper was coffee dyed. So very much, well, essentially almost a blank canvas. So black, beige, white, and a bit of green. So it made sense, to my way of thinking, to add green to it. So I don't know how good or not, how well or not these stickers would have been. Some of them, as you can see, are transparent. Some are thicker than others. I just chose to add a dab of glue stick to each one, just for extra insurance. Now, I know that there are probably people who don't necessarily like this rah-rah affirmation type stuff. I happen to love it. It's something that has driven my life to some degree. So I love these. And if when I decide to use them, I discover that, oh, you know, I've cut something right in half, although I'm the one cutting, so presumably I wouldn't let that happen. But I may decide that once I cut it up into the shapes and sizes that I need, that maybe there's something missing. I still, obviously, excuse me, have the ability to add more, maybe to gesso it, to knock it back or whatever. Oh, and I should say, first of all, I was so excited, I forgot to welcome you to the channel and to thank you for being here. And I also want to say that, you know, well, I guess, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Doing collage seems to come quite naturally for me. I know that that isn't always true for everyone. And there are people that really feel that they're not very good at it or still haven't maybe found their style or whatever. So those are basically the people I'm talking to. If you can do collage with one hand tied behind your back and wearing a blindfold, then hey, you probably say goodbye now and catch me again tomorrow. But if you like to hear, see my approach, my thought process, then by all means hang around. And maybe you should be crafting along with me too and making your own masterboard. Stop the video, go find a big book, yeah, anyway, onward. I've shown these before. Again, these are obviously Reader's Digest illustrations. I see a little corners lifting here. Art glitter glue. Let me just touch that to that before it tears off, and I have a little awkward triangle there. I don't know how and when I'll use this, but it is obviously, I think it's attractive as it is, but again, taste. It's all about taste. Similar, different color story. Similar. This one is kind of cute. It's got these kind of 50s, 60s people. Obviously a house full of kids. It was almost like a dollhouse. So I love that one. Here's another one. And then this one was quite strange. I don't remember what kind of a book this was, but obviously it had a lot of animals. It had almost like caveman type drawings in it, Mind you, there's a guy with a coffee and there's a guy with a dog. So I don't remember, but very much neutral. So on this page, I chose to use many of the sort of brown, yellow, orangey kind of stickers. Some are transparent, some are very tiny. So on this page, what I'd like to draw your attention to is that there were some really, what I would consider awful ones, like these two black arrows on the bright yellow. This is quite in your face as well. And there was a strip with 10 of these little stars. Now, it's all about decisions. Now, they were all individual, so I use them individually. But I could have put them all in a line. I could have wiggled the line around. What I chose to do was sort of a random grouping here of 5. Then I had 5 more. Nice, not an odd number. Then I decided that, hey, with the way my colors are being distributed here, maybe I can't use the other 5 together, but let's split them up. So I ran 3 horizontally and 2 vertically, and, you know, I'm happy with how that turned out. Same scenario here. If when I chop it up, it looks like something is missing, well, so be it. So then I was out of bases, but I still, okay, I'll tell you what awaits me. A huge pile of ironing. I have a husband who has never worn a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a golf shirt. He does have cardigans and so on and pullovers, never wears those. The man lives in button-up, long-sleeved shirts, most of which, you know, need to be ironed so that it doesn't look like he slept in them. Oh, and to further complicate the matter, it must have a breast pocket so that he can put a pen. No, he doesn't use a pocket protector, but to put a pen and a few index cards, because that's what he writes everything on. Anyway, so I've got a pile of ironing to do from our getaway, and I think there might have been some before we left. I like ironing, but it is, if there's a big batch, it's hard on sciatica, or it can almost trigger sciatica. So I can't stand in one spot for very long, but then I break it into sections. I do it in the bedroom, so I'm close to the walk-in closet, and I also would either have YouTube or Netflix on. So I'm not dreading that job at all. But I figured let me do another video while there's still decent light. So I guess I wasn't ready to go to ironing yet. So I looked for a page, and to be honest, I had forgotten that there were color things in here. I looked for a page that was predominantly black, like so. And then I used my purple grouping. Now, so this page had nothing on it besides a very clear border, a page number, a caption there, and then these 2 abstracty different values, you know, like black to, you know, almost, you know, the gradation from white to black. And I didn't have as many purple stickers as I maybe would have liked, but I thought I can still do something. The very first piece I put down was this one, and that's because I wanted to cover up that caption. Now, we have words and book page on our master boards all the time, but why did I want to do that? I guess I just wanted to sort of keep the integrity of the way this page was laid out. And again, did some, you know, sort of, these aren't vellum, but they're transparent. So I had a few of those, add a bit of shine to the paper, add a different element. In every case, I sort of did a dry fit, a bit of a dry layout before I glued anything down. And I also began with the bigger pieces. So I wouldn't pepper a page with a whole bunch of, dinky little things and then hope that I can fit the big ones in. I do it the opposite way. I also took some pains to maintain or use the border that went around it. Now here I had to cover up a caption. No, here I had to cover up a caption, so it took 2 stickers. I probably wouldn't have 2 butting up to each other like that. Here, with this banner type thing, I made sure that I lined it up so that that line appears, the sticker appears to be dissecting that line. So that's that. Now, because I said I wanted to work on black and white, I know that there's another page in here. I probably should have marked it, but I think it's nearby, that I was intending to use. I thought it would just pop out at me. So I hope you collage every chance you get. If you've got glue and you've got paper, hey, it's fair game. I think you should glue down everything that isn't moving. And let me just have a quick flip. I don't think it was those. I pretty well want a design that is all over. I was sure I had a second one pre-selected. That would be pretty dark, using black stickers. And I find that, see, this is nice. It's, the technique here is kind of recreating some textures. Some of these would make great. Anyway. Different story. Oh my goodness. I don't think it was those florals, but we're into the colored, so where the heck? I might have to just pick one of these. Maybe this one. Yeah, what the heck? I'm up to it. And even though it's a botanical and we know that, stems grow up, not down, I will do it horizontal. Just because that's kind of, I think that works better for me. Maybe I'll slip this over a minute while I pre-sort some of these stickers. Whoopsie. Now, you can see, I've also got gold in here. And I'm not sure, this probably doesn't belong here. Maybe I'll put it just over there. When it was like a sort of a one or two color sheet, I didn't bother cutting it all down because I'm not that insane. Okay, so let's just randomly kind of pick out the bigger ones. Throw them on there, see what we have to work with. I won't do gold just yet. That's gray, probably has to stay on the bench during this round. Here's another one, here's another one. That one's predominantly white, that could work. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. And let's see what you can see. Oh, hey, the kid's in frame. What can I say? Okay, now obviously this is way too many. That is introducing another color, so maybe we'll throw that one away. Not throw it away, but, next time. Or another project. Couple banner type, 3, 4, a few banner ones. This seems to be the only one that's sort of, or there's another one, reverse. These are smaller already. I'm not really judging by what the message is at this point. Okay. We'll take these two off for the time being. So let's just begin. Whoops. Let's begin with 3. And again, we're not splitting the atom here. It is going to be pretty random. I think I will cover up those 2 tiny words. Okay. And we're off. I hope that you choose to join me in this, because it is so good for the soul. If you can't see me gluing, you're not missing anything. I'm using an old Costco monthly calendar, or how often they come out. I'm just going to catch the very end of that. Sorry about all this rubbing. I finished a package of baby wipes yesterday, and I don't have any within reach. But I do have my handy dandy little rubber picker-upper thingamajigger. That is the technical term, by the way. Okay. Oh, I think, anyway, it doesn't matter. I was going to say, I think I wanted the solid one kind of in the, stay out of the wet glue. Why don't we start with a fresh page? Goodness knows there's no shortage of things to glue on. Now these pages are reasonably good. I'll just slide that up a little more. And you know, by doing it this way, on pages that are kind of, can we say artsy-fartsy, to begin with, I'm saving one operation. And not that, you know, I believe in cutting corners or anything. It's just that, hey, you know, there are some of those jobs that are so time-consuming and labor-intensive that if there's a way to shorten a process and speed things along so you can get to your ironing, then obviously I want to be part of that. Okay, I said that I have these as well. Maybe we'll do like so. Again, I don't make the decision. I don't prejudge how I'm going to use a page or cut up a page, I mean, until the time comes. You know, I would, sometimes if it doesn't matter, I could do it blind. In other words, from the wrong side. But most of the time I wouldn't want to do that because I think decapitating people or animals is not very good. Cutting words in half or in ways that don't make sense, especially if this is all about the words, is not that good an idea either. And I don't know if this is a new, let's see, will you have seen you might have seen the video I did for Caroline's Craft Tree and her CCT 52 challenge that I'm going to do my darndest to stay, you know, caught up and relevant with that. I did a very minimalist, I'm going to just kind of a minimalist project for that. And I'm just wondering if that is an evolution in my designing here. I'm going to keep these smaller ones nearby in case I need them for a bit more oomph, because obviously there is a lot of white space. Whoops, here. The gray one doesn't make the cut today because it's the only one. Oh, better not forget to introduce some gold, if that's what I'm doing. Maybe let's do a few gold ones. Here's another smallish one. This is kind of, whoops. Oh, that one almost came off my hand. This is subtle. That is solid. And again, something like this. Oh, those stars are all separate. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll find the perfect place to put them. This is gold as well. What's going on here? Solid and some stars. Oh, I see. Okay. Whoopsie. Something just hit the floor. I typically I don't really use hearts in designs, to be honest. I don't know, I think it's just a bit cutesy. But, oh, here's a second gray one. I guess that could work. Maybe I should use those because there are only two of them. And it does have some gold running through it. And they're big. And they fit right in. So again, these feel great. They're not glossy. Kind of a matte finish to them. Not thick. Just kind of, see, and I didn't do any. I'm going to get really close to the edge of the paper here. Maybe touching even. I didn't bleed, and in the other ones I did today, I didn't have any of my elements bleeding off the edge of the page, which I normally would. I also didn't, well, no, that's not true. Oh, damn it. A very sticky sticker just landed jam side down on my glue paper. Yeah, in a normal situation, I would have it running to the edge, and I would also turn things, upside down, on their side, whatever. Okay, we'll put those little gold pieces over there. These stripes are pretty graphic, so hopefully we can use those. Boy, I don't really have anything very, very big in gold. Wonder how many of these little banner type things I have. Oh, this is another good one. Mind you, there's more scripty stuff here. I maybe should have taken an extra second or two to do the... that was my arm sticking to the paper. To do a better pre-sort. I think I better get some gold down. Oh, here's a bigger gold piece. Okay, we have to use that because it's bigger. Today was awesome. Because I'm taping this immediately after the video you saw yesterday, it is still brutally cold out there. Not that I would know, because I haven't. Oh, jeez. Because I have not ventured out there. I did fill a couple of bird feeders, though. Because I'm thinking those poor little guys. You know, imagine those little tiny, tiny little bodies trying to stay warm. Ugh, that's not good. Maybe between my hands that aren't the cleanest and the glue that I smeared on there, I don't know if it shows at your end, but I can see the reflection, and I don't like it. Okay, much better. Yeah, I remember when before we had to remove some spruce trees. Okay, I'll back up. Back in the day, no, was that grade 1 or was that grade 5? I can't remember. Anyway, kids used to get a tiny little tree at school. So, of course, oh, does that heart come out? Maybe not. My husband and his brother, just the two kids in the family, of course, had gotten trees. They're 2 years apart. And the parents planted them. And, you know, I don't know what the design elements were back in the day, but I don't think that any design rules were followed. They were just plunked, centered in front of the house. And of course, you know what spruce trees do over time. They become absolutely gigantic. Okay, let me tell you what I'm thinking here. Because I could use some of these gems too. A gem, a donut. What am I going to do? I was going to say that, okay, because some of these elements are quite small, I think I'm going to begin overlapping slightly, you know, where some contrast is needed, or to make a larger focal point. Anyway, because of those two big spruce trees, there were always nuthatches in them. We had, geez, that's a big, I don't even have a Kleenex in my pocket. Oh, maybe here's a napkin. So we had, you know, the feeder just outside the window so that, you know, us or any grandkids or kids could see the birds as they came to the feeder, because really, how else do you get an up close and personal look at birds? But anyway, when those trees had to come down because there was going to be a building right there, where did I leave? Oh, here it is. We, of course, lost that ability to see those guys. Maybe I'll connect these two elements with this gold. So anyway, just thinking about the temperature, dug out the feeders, I filled them, and we always use the black sunflower seed. Number one, they're less, ooh, more luck than brains when the way that one landed. They, some of those mixes have too much junk in it. Elements that are cheap to put in and aren't that great for birds. So we've always bought the black, not the striped, but the black sunflower seeds in the shell. And of course, because of birds dropping things and birds pooping, you then end up with a bunch of volunteer sunflowers too. So that's just a bonus. Anyway, I noticed, and it's in a big tote. I shudder to think what the price might be these days. We used to be able to buy like maybe a, I don't know, 30, 40 pound bag for, maybe $35 or something. But I suspect that those days are long gone. Anyway, I also see that I had a couple of suet cakes. But of course, I think that the suet holders are in either the garage or the garden shed. And I don't really want to make anybody go and look for that today, so maybe that'll be another day. Anyway, nuthatches are so smart. I don't know that from personal experience. I can't point to any experiments that I've done. But I just remember reading articles or like a newspaper article about them. Like, those are clever little birds. And they're cute and they're sort of fat and so on. What's not to love? So, anyway, hopefully we'll make life a little easier for somebody like that for a few days anyway, till this craziness goes away, this weather. I don't know. Is this a smart idea? I just need to see if that's more or less straight. Well, since I've thrown tomorrow in there, I might as well use hello as well. I wonder where I keep my baby wipes. I think I'm going to put it in my first choice. What do we have here? And again, some of these stickers may have been adequate by themselves. But if they're not, then you end up, having to go back in with art glitter glue and okay. I don't think there's any more of this stuff. I could use those 3 smiles. Possibility. Kind of thought I wanted to use these too, but we'll see. Maybe I should introduce some circular elements. Again, this is probably a bit painstaking to watch, and I shouldn't be spending this much time on these decisions. I guess I feel like I don't really talk to myself when I'm doing this on my own, but I feel that if I've got the camera running, I know I don't like videos where, you know, the person's there. They're not fast, they haven't fast forwarded, they haven't paused, but they're not saying anything. Like, hey, what's up with that? Explain your decision. Teach somebody something while you're at it. That would look good there. That's my own feeling. And I tend not to watch those videos very often because I feel like, hey, if I wanted to be alone, I wouldn't have turned, if I wanted to be in silence, I wouldn't have turned YouTube. Hey, carpe diem. Be present. Okay, we might need these circles. Okay, let's do something. We know that we want this today here for sure, because this little thing needs a bit of anchoring down in this corner. Oh, I don't know if I finished the thought about the card I did, journaling card I did for the Caroline's Craft Tree Challenge, and the minimalist thing that I seem to be doing with some of these new masterboards. I couldn't see the way that, I couldn't see that it had words on it. I thought, oh, that's kind of cute. Looks like paint dripping. Or like icicles hanging. Maybe I could do that right below there. Now this is obviously going to fill up because, okay, I have to get that one straight. Touch, 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 slide. Not really moving when you want it to. I want these guys to be in a line. Because, and there's a design principle at play there. What the heck? Why is this sticking so hard on the first attempt? That looks crooked to me. Maybe it's okay. Do the third one. 3 of these things, you know, sort of grouped kind of tightly, is going to create more impact than 3 of them scattered around like, you know, buckshot or something. See what I mean? Okay, let's do carpe diem somewhere. Maybe smack dab in the middle. Close to that guy. And then we'll take a look at it and see what else it needs. And again, it doesn't have to be totally finished today because I'm not rushing out to use it just yet. I do have a black and white, yuck. I do have a black and white journal in mind. But my goodness, there are a few others on the runway that are come first. And again, sort of, you know, imagine a cutting. Let's do this sort of swoosh. How many circles do I have? 1. 1, 2. 3. Maybe I should do those first. And you can see that, you know, it's not an overly large piece of paper that I'm working on, but little by little, a piece at a time, I'm working my way through these stickers. And these teeny tiny ones, you know, they can end up just being on, you know, as a bit of a last touch on something. I think that's probably it for the solid gold ones. Yeah, we'll probably do those 3 and call it quits. Okay, what am I doing with this? Do I want them sort of randomish? That guy's smaller. And then I'll let you go. And then I'll go fire up my iron. Maybe that was an optical illusion. Maybe they're all the same size. I think the bird feeders just went out. Whoops. Black and white without this touch of gold might have been a bit harsh. And again, you don't necessarily want symmetry when you're doing something like this, or at least I don't. Okay, I think let's call it a day there. Yeah, I'm happy with this, and there are certainly a lot of possibilities for taking it a step further should I decide to. Anyway, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this. I hope that it made you want to take a look at your stickers and figure out I think this is one of those videos that is useful on a couple of levels. It was a refresher about making masterboards. It was a reminder to use it, don't store it. And it also, between this one and yesterday's, talked about organization. And I think this may be a good way because honestly, it was like chaos to have all of those colors all mixed up together. So I'll take a couple of pages for the leftover black ones. And yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, are you going to iron something too? Over your dead body, you say? No, that's why there's polyester in the world. Anyway, okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.